All right, if somebody could tell me if you can hear and see me okay, then I will begin my presentation. Can everybody hear and see me okay? All right, I see one heartbeat coming up, so I must be good to go. All right. All right, thanks, Wendy. All right, are we ready to rock and roll? I think so. All right. Thanks for the thumbs up. All right, first things first, this video is for entertainment purposes only. All right, today is December 27th, 2024. My name is Cassandra. I'm a warrior of the light, daughter of Sekhmet, Galactic Supreme Court Justice and Administrator to the Intergalactic Supermax Prison. I come to you on this day to thank those of you called to watch for turning on your 5G tower to bring in the light during the Christmas holiday. For those of you that do not know what I'm talking about, I would like to ask you to please see my latest video that is posted on my YouTube, BitChute, and Rumble channel, Purple Lion Project, for more details. And for more details and background information. For those of you that have been following me over the years, you are already aware that I've had numerous contacts and interactions with high-level extraterrestrials and beings of light. Since 2012, my near-death experience began my journey into stepping into my mission in this incarnation, which has included contact with Master Jesus, Mary, Archangel Michael, ancient Native American elders, and dozens of others. I was told a few weeks ago by extraterrestrials that there would be a very high-level event and operation that was going to be held in the early morning hours of December 25th. I was told that I needed to go public and ask for help prior to manifest Jesus and his very large light ship called the New Jerusalem. We did this operation on this day as many were focused on Jesus, and we were able to use that intention and energy to our success. What I'm going to share with you now is a brief overview of that operation. I also do realize that many will not be able to understand or even comprehend what I'm about to share. I face ridicule, attacks, and insults, but I agree and I understand that this is not for everyone, and I honor that. I have had many out-of-body experiences, in fact, hundreds, where I leave my body and confront demonic creatures, people, and beings and arrest them and put them in my higher dimensional, highly technological prison to hold these worst of the worst beings and creatures. It's a prison Randy Kramer and I discussed in 2014. A close family member was literally tortured in her bathroom a few months ago for the higher level work that I do, and she was told as such when she didn't even know the details of who I really am. I have the authority given to me by God Almighty to arrest and detain demons and creatures until true justice is served upon them. My very first encounter was with Barbara Bush, who was a very high-level reptilian creature approximately 10 years ago. Back to Operation Christmas 2024. Over the years, I have created a portal in my current home, which is in a small mountain town in Colorado, where the energy is extremely high. On the early morning of December 25th at approximately 1 a.m., I had in my possession, in the higher realms, a very large sack filled with trillions of demonic AI parasites that was going to be unleashed on the planet as a next pandemic. This sack was a very large, approximately 100 feet in diameter, filled with trillions upon trillions of festering, hungry, baby demonic parasites that were going to infect and eat humans on the planet. Humanity has been prepped and fattened up, prepped and jabbed for this great calling, like Dr. Rima Lebo said in her interview on the Jesse Ventura show years ago. I have personally spoken to Dr. Rima Lebo over the years. I'm not sure if that video is still posted on YouTube or somewhere else, but Jesse Ventura, he used to have his own show, and he did an interview with her at one point. She was out of the country, but she agreed to come into the country just for one day. She landed, did her interview, I believe at the airport with Jesse Ventura, and then she left the country quickly. She was a high-up military medical doctor, and one of the deep staters told her that there was going to be a great culling soon. I contained this sack with a special energetic container for which they cannot get out. Lots of drones have been searching for something lately. Its mother frantically looking for it as those were her babies. I had to lure the mother in, and I had to use the sack as a tool to lure this large demonic AI creature. I had to lure her in, otherwise she would have just made another sack to release on humanity at a later date. The mother was lured in, and as I had opened my portal, as she was looking frantically in the lower astral realms around the globe, looking for her sack of children, I opened up my portal, lured her in, for which I had 3 minutes for Master Jesus' light ship to come and capture this large demonic creature and take this egg sack filled with trillions upon trillions of these parasitic babies. The mother creature looked like a very large spider, a spider-like being with long, skinny, sharp legs, with claws like a lobster. And she was very large, approximately 40 to 50 feet tall. Jesus' light ship came in, picked up the payload that was safely contained to remove it and place it in a proper and secure facility until further notice. Jesus came out of the light ship to greet me, to say hi and thank me for my service. As I looked at his light ship, the commander of Jesus' light ship came down the ramp and smiled at me. I recognized who the commander of his ship was. It is someone very close to me, who I will keep his name private for now, to protect his privacy and his safety. I will say that he's a man of high morals and substance. He had a high ranking in the military, along with the top secret clearances, and to this day has a unique and important position in the government. Seeing him as commander of the New Jerusalem was quite surprising, but a pleasant surprise. I knew this man was a master, and for years I always wondered what his mission was, but I didn't think it would be this high of a position. Ever since he was a young boy, he saw UFOs, and he knew there was a special connection, and he would have dreams about piloting UFO craft. But what greater honor to serve the light than to be the commander of the New Jerusalem lightship? Jesus and the Galactic Command had me present a special gift to the commander in honor of his service to the Galactic Alliance and confirm his status as commander. He was given a very unique Medal of Honor to be worn around his neck as a reminder of who and what he is. I know that many are going to hear this message and will have doubts, disbelief, and I understand that. I also know that many want to see it to believe it or have some kind of proof. But at this time, it is still not safe. Please review my previous videos as I discuss that in detail. Until the current governments are removed and replaced and all captured departments and agencies are dismantled, it is not safe for the extraterrestrials to show up in person. Yet. It will be a process to slowly reconnect humans with extraterrestrials. This process will also include each individual to go into their heart and open up to the idea that we are not alone in the multiverse. There are many types of extraterrestrials, different colors and shapes, heights, weights, for which humanity will have to be slowly eased into, accepting other conscious life forms that may appear different without being put into a state of shock or fear. They do not wish to instill fear or scare people, but they are eager to also participate in a family reunion. Just say, for example, if an ET showed up on my video sitting right next to me at this point in time, just like they do on the Farsight channel. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Farsight. They are a group of remote viewers that communicate with extraterrestrials. They also say and do the same thing. That government agencies would storm my house, take me into custody, and take the ET into custody, and it's a possibility that we would never be seen again. When it's safe, they will slowly start the integration process based on humanity's readiness and willingness to begin ET contact. So if you ask me when will ET contact begin, it's on you. There are thousands and thousands of ships watching this process that are eagerly awaiting to make contact and assist humanity with technology and knowledge that is far advanced than we are, and they do not need anything from us. They have everything they need. Earth was under a quarantine for many years because many of the dark demonic creatures and parasites were already here on the planet. We are on the cusp of planetary liberation. I would like to again remind any of the listeners that have not already done so, please watch my previous videos. YouTube has removed some of my viral videos and is not a complete compilation. So please go to my channel, Purple Lion Project, for all my videos to give you a greater understanding if you don't know who I am and what some of my experiences have been. At this time, I would like to thank Father and Mother God, Prime Creator, Master Jesus, Mary, Sekhmet, and all the other entities of light who have been with me throughout my lifetime to help, assist, and guide me in my mission. I am grateful and humbled to be of service to humanity. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of you. Focus on the world you wish to create. Do not live in fear, but faith. And I'll see if there's any questions before I go. I'm kind of nervous, as you can tell. You know, I'm not a public speaker. I'm not a Mockingbird media trained, CIA trained talking head. Technology, I don't get it. And to be honest with you, I really don't like being in the limelight. I have to force myself to do these things. So, let's see. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Tanya. Holly, Karen, Shirley. Oh, boy. Hi, Shirley. Chuck. Now, let's see. Katrina, you're welcome. Tom, Lynn, Francesca. Okay, I see another heartbeat floating up there, so I see you guys can hear and see me. For some reason, I can't do these anymore on my laptop. My camera and microphone has been disabled. I don't know why. Well, thanks, Karen. I did awesome. Thank you for sharing. Well, it is my duty. It's my duty to get on here and share some of this information. Why? Because I've been blessed with so many things, and this is an inside job. Inside job meaning there are boots on the ground right now doing this work that you will never know about. A lot of unsung heroes. I can honestly say that I'm very disappointed in a lot of the people that are in the current limelight. How am I disappointed? I've said it in a few of my other videos. The common names that you know, I know a lot of them, and I'm a bit disappointed. You're welcome. Chuck, thanks, Chuck. All right, so does anybody have any questions while we're all live? I'll be happy to take some questions. I'll keep talking about something until I see some. So again, this video, until I see some questions, I'll keep talking. This video is meant to bring hope, okay? I'm here to bring hope and truth and light to the public. A lot of other podcasters, people that you recognize their names, they like to bring in fear. Humanity seems to like fear a lot. We are drama queens and kings. So you get a lot of clicks and likes and watches when you're bringing all kinds of fear stuff. Yes, some of the things I did mention earlier in this video is kind of crazy and out there, but that's something that we have averted. So mission accomplished. That was going to be a next plandemic, triggered by very dark beings to get rid of almost all of us on the planet because they want the planet for themselves. They call us useless eaters. I think Dr. Rima Lebow coined that term when she was with her patient who was one of the deep staters. They want to get rid of most of us. And it just isn't going to happen. So, mission accomplished thanks to people turning on their 5G towers. Not only did you bring in distraction for this creature trying to find that sack, and I'm telling you, it was disgusting. It was a disgusting, very large sack of nasty trillions and trillions of these little tiny parasites, and you could hear them in there and moving, and they were going to be released on humanity into the air, into the lower fourth. This is spiritual warfare. And those that are open enough to understand that this is spiritual warfare, this is biblical, then you could maybe take that next step into understanding how spiritual warfare works. And again, this message isn't for everybody. I understand that. I'm still going to get attacked. I'm still going to be ridiculed and belittled. But it's my truth and it's my faith that keeps me going forward. All right, I think we did get a couple questions, so let's see. I saw a video of orbs responding to a woman saying, "Jesus loves me," and the light inside the orb went crazy. And the same when she said, "God is good." Absolutely. The veil is thinning. The veil is thinning. We are ascending. We are moving into a higher frequency, if you wish. So now is the time where contact can begin. I know some people might not like this explanation, but I'm going to say it anyway, because it's my truth. In 2012, I had a very long near-death experience. I was out of body more than in body. Mary and her team of healers came to me like gangbusters. And they started working on me, on my physical body. Jesus has also come in, and we have spoken face to face numerous times. So if you believe in Jesus, where is he? Where is his consciousness? Where is Jesus right now? Well, Jesus to me is Christ the King of peace, God, creator, love. He is my Father. He is my friend. He is in a higher frequency. He is an extraterrestrial being of pure light. And how does he get around? By thought. Thoughts are energy. Thoughts create. At that level of frequency, you are creator. He has lots of friends and family in that level. And how does he get around? In his light ship. Now, what does a light ship look like? I have a picture on my Facebook page. My Facebook is Cassandra S. Willock. Because although I'm doing this live on Facebook, I will eventually be uploading it to Rumble, BitChute, and YouTube on my channel, Purple Lion Project. So to me, Jesus is an extraterrestrial. He's a very high being of light. I have spoken to him, and he has visited me in my home several times in the past year and several times in the previous years. I know when he comes in because I I sense his frequency. He doesn't come in and shake my hand and introduce himself and say, "Hi, I'm Jesus." You just know. You know who he is. Just like with Mary. When Mary first came in to do my near-death experience and to start my physical healing process, I knew it was Mary. I could sense her frequency. And she brought a team with her that started moving my organs around. It was like 2 a.m, scanning my body. I could feel a light beam go head to toe. And I asked Mary, before you leave, could you give me a hug? Because I've been laying here for a year alone and I'm lonely. And she kissed me on the lips. And since then, my life has never been the same. So let's see if there's other questions. So, not all extraterrestrials are demons. I know I get comments like that with every video. I'm dealing with demons. Well, yes, I do deal with demons. I take them out. And I send them to the light. Or I send them into lockdown in the higher realms. And I actually hand them arrest warrants in the manner in which Jesus trained me to do. I've had very high-level training by many beings of light in the higher realms. I also have a lot of physical training here. And again, if you look at my past videos, you'll see what kind of work I've done, my training, my certificates as a certified federal medical investigator, and then working at the Federal Supermax, hidden in the Rockies, the place where El Chapo and the Boston bomber and Kaczynski were. So yes, Karen Marie, I'm answering your comment. Now is the time to connect to the level that you feel comfortable with. Open up your heart. I call it talking to the universe. Some call it pray. I call it talk to the universe because your thoughts travel interdimensional. So put out there, what would you like? Would you like first contact to be your spirit guide? Or someone that you love and adore like Jesus? Or a family member that passed over? I have talked to many dead people. They're not dead. They're just in another frequency. Just a radio station tuned away. Dial in your heart to that frequency. Think about that person. Feel the love. And start getting in the subtle messages. Anything godly is not going to scare you. No. Yes, I have seen a little bit of that, I can say. But most of the time, it's a subtle integration. This is the time that orbs are going to show up even more. You're going to start seeing more light ships. They're going to wink at you and say, "We're here. Are you ready?" That's what they're going to say. Look up. You might not see it the first night. You might not see it the second night. But be consistent. Tell them that you are persistent. And that you would like to expand your consciousness out of this 3D reality, which is fake. This is all fake because it either deteriorates, dies, or rots, or it's not forever. Nothing in this reality is forever, except your spirit and your consciousness. That lives forever. That is real. The rest of this is not real. It was our creation. This is what we wanted to do. We wanted to experience a temporary physical experience for the purpose of creation, mastering your masterhood. God says, go out and create. And believe me, you go back and show God what you created. You have your past life experience, your past life review, and you kind of cringe and go, oh, I did that. Oh, boy. Ooh, boy, that was, ooh. We're all going to do that because we were all behind the veil. Forgetfulness. To see if we could eventually, the goal is to tap back into source energy and remember who we are. And who are we? We're beings of divine light that came from source. No beginning, no end. And once you leave this physical body, this container, this shell, you are in an expanded state of awareness. Now, depending on where you're at when you do pass away, you may need a little more help. For example, the people that are alcoholics or drug addicts that are in a psychological consciousness mess, say they overdose on heroin. When their consciousness crosses over and their physical body dies, and if they're in that state, they're going to be in the same state. So they're going to be still just as confused, just as addicted, just as lost, and they require a little extra care and healing. And that's where everybody's guardian angels, and there are hospitals in the higher realms. I have seen them. Watch the movie Nasolar. Nasolar. It's a Brazilian movie with English subtitles. It's the closest thing to explain what happens when you pass, when you die, that I have found that is the closest explanation of your post-death life. Okay? So watch Nasolar. I think it's free on YouTube. Let's see if there's other questions. Hi, Dee. She says, you always bring in hope, love, and light with your videos, but most awareness. Thank you for all you do. You're welcome. Because you see it in me, and so you are the same. I know you are. You wouldn't be able to see it if you didn't resonate with it, right? So thank you for bringing in hope, love, and light with your Facebook posts and pictures and smiles. So thank you for all you do. I saw these spider things before. Now that they're gone, are they all gone? Yes, they are all gone. They are all gone. So those spider things, oh my gosh, they were nasty, nasty, nasty. Oh, nasty. What would have happened if that sack would have been busted open? It would have been absolute chaos, mayhem, melee. People sick, zombies, dying, infected, eaten alive. This is what they had planned for us. These people are sick. Sick. And they prepped humanity. And Dr. Rima Lebo even mentioned that in her interview with Jesse Ventura. They fattened us up for the kill. Seed oils. Everybody's got a big gut. Liver disease, fattened up. These things up here also prepped their taste buds. Poisoned humanity with AI. What do you call it? With things to draw in AI and satisfy their taste buds, because these creatures are not divine. They're not godly. They're half AI, half demonic. They don't have souls, right? Ugh. So yeah, mission accomplished. Those spider thing, disaster, gone. Yes, this is spiritual war. D says that those who attack and belittle you are for the fact they do not know or understand, but mostly for they are afraid to awaken. Yes. I just told someone this yesterday. It's up to the individual to create the future that they want. Sometimes it's baby steps. And just like Dolores Cannon said in one of her videos, she was a wonderful hypnotherapist and wrote many books. So a lot of you know Dolores Cannon. She did the QHHT regression. I had one in 2014 by one of her trained practitioners. It was an amazing experience, and I got to meet my star family. And they wore an outfit this same color and texture. They looked like Lost in Space. Remember the show Lost in Space years ago? They had their silver uniforms on. In my QHHT session, I got to see my star family, and they wore an outfit just like this. Now, how coincidental that I picked this out tonight to share. There are no coincidences, people. It's the universe bringing you what you are attracting. It's not a coincidence. There are no coincidences, okay? But I told somebody that yesterday. You can't feed a baby a 3-course meal. So back to your comment, D, mostly are afraid to awaken. Yes. So you can't feed a baby a 3-course meal. You got to start them slow. You got to start them with a bottle first. Okay? They mastered that. Next is whipped carrots. Pasty carrots or something. And then you move forward a little bit more to make the GI tract from being in shock. Plus they don't have teeth. So you can't feed someone the entire truth when they're not even awakened yet. And that is fearful, and that does cause fear. I agree. So that's why I'm constantly reminding people in my videos, go back to the old videos if you don't understand, or if you feel like you're in a state of fear, or you don't know who I am or where I've been, open up a little bit. Watch some of my previous videos. Go to my Facebook page, Cassandra S. Willock, and go back over the years and start to feel comfortable with, well, are you interested in some of my information or who I've been or what I've done? And then move forward. And like I've said in this presentation, this information isn't for everybody. Let's see. D says, you were the chosen one for us upon earth, and thank you. Well, I was. And I don't want to sound like a big old ego. I was prepared for this mission before I incarnated. I've had meetings directly with Prime Creator, the source of all life. It's a big white ball of white light, of consciousness. The one experience I'll share, I have shared in other videos where I was out of body again, and I went to Prime Creator. This was in 2019. Prime Creator said, you're on a Prime Creator mission. You will get help and support. Exciting things are coming, but be ready. Over the years, God would ask me, how you doing? You still want to go forward? Just like I said earlier, baby steps for me too. I'm 57 now. I've been in this process, this fast track, for 12 years, which I have been working, studying, learning 24/7. I don't even sleep. And when I do sleep, I'm off working. So again, even like me, I was given baby steps most of the time. I can say there were some very hard lessons, but I needed them to catapult me into the next level. So yes, I was chosen to do this particular work at this time. And when I was out of body one time, I wrote myself a note and said, you knew this wasn't going to be easy. And then when I popped back in my body and read the note, I thought to myself, well, I didn't think it would be this hard. Nobody will ever understand the loneliness, the pain, physical pain, the attacks I've gotten physically, spiritually, because you can't understand. I've been put through a lot. So yes, I am chosen for a specific mission. I am the daughter of Sekhmet. I am part of the Galactic Supreme Court Justice. And I have my own intergalactic, interdimensional, supermax prison, like I said in my presentation earlier, that holds the worst of the worst. And when I'm done collecting all of them on the planet, I would assume I would go home and start processing these inmates. And in this incarnation, I've said in my previous videos, I am a certified federal medical investigator. I was trained by the federal government. I was trained by a state detective for 6 months. I'm very good at doing investigations. And kind of what your interests are in this life are kind of what you do on the spiritual side also. So I have proven myself over the years, and I have been gifted the armor of God title and outfit. A couple years ago, I was laying in my crystal spiritual medical bed, and the team came in and sat me up out of body and said, "We are here to fit you with your armor of God. You are now an authority in the higher levels." And I know this sounds ego and it sounds kind of harsh. I'm not even sure if I should say it, but I am the judge, jury, and executioner. So I come with great authority into this planet. My kids always called me the Beast. Let's see what else. Let's see if there's any. She's a warrior angel who fights and deals with demons. This is why she's been drained, for it's a lot of work. She's sent by God to share the messages and knowledge for us to know. Yes. So on Christmas Day, the 25th of December at 1 a.m., I went to work. And when I do this intense spiritual work a few times a month, it literally wipes me out for a day or two. I mean, I know it's coming because they tell me. I start getting anxious. They start visiting me. It's like I know something's coming, and then I tap in, and then I ask, do I need to do this prepare for deep spiritual work on Sunday? And they'll say yes. And I say, okay. So what I do to prepare for these days of battle or for whatever they need, I put it out there. Okay, Sunday's going to be my day. I do deep spiritual work. On Sunday, when Sunday comes, I sleep in as long as I can, if I can sleep. And then I fast. I fast all day. I drink blessed water. I take special herbs and remedies to help clear my body and physical vessel so that I can do this energy work. Let's see, what do I take? I take lion's mane. I take fermented skate liver oil capsules. I take niacin, magnesium, and a food-based multivitamin. I take clove. But a lot of this stuff I do almost daily at a lesser level, because every day, I am in a state of readiness for when the extraterrestrials or Jesus or God needs me. I do not drink. I watch what I eat. I try to get just enough sleep so that I am mentally prepared and able to cope. So yeah, when I do these days, the deep spiritual dives, it really takes a lot out of me for a day or two. But then when I come back, I have such high hopes. I want to tell everybody everything. And then the next day comes and it's like, I am so tired. I didn't even get out of bed yesterday. I felt bad at 8 o'clock because I told people I'd be here at 8. Will we know when they come to tell us they're here? Yep, like I said, you have to invoke them in. You have to allow them in. They're not going to barge in. They're not going to just land on the White House lawn and scare everybody. When stuff like that happens, it's not them, it's us. Okay? If it's scary, if it's intrusive, if it violates your free will, it's not them. Because they don't work that way. So you have to invite them in. So I use the analogy of they're at the door. They're ringing your doorbell. Are you going to open the door? Or open the door to your heart? Or open the door to your mind? Talk to the universe and bring them in? Connect. And you set your schedule at how fast or how slow you want to connect. And you set your schedule with who and what you want to connect with. Over the years, I've connected with little fairies. Do you know fairies are real? I had a picture of one when I was living at the Esetti Ranch. It was a little fairy like Tinkerbell, and she had a little crystal, and she was flying. I had thousands of pictures of stuff, and I accidentally deleted it. But little fairies are real. You have to go out in nature. They don't like the city. They're not in the city with that energy. They're out in nature. Sit down, open your heart, and smile and say, who wants to connect with me today? I did that once at Esetti Ranch also, and I got a picture of Bigfoot. He was standing to my left. So I have a picture of Bigfoot's face in his spirit energy, which is a beautiful purple color. And I let James Gilliland use that at his presentations at the ranch. But yeah, lots of Bigfoot sightings in the physical and interdimensional, because they are interdimensional beings. And they are way more advanced than we are. Way. That's why you can never catch them, because we want to shoot them and kill them. And that's what we do to extraterrestrials right now. We kill them. Let's see if there's other questions. Virginia says, I saw a big heart with wings in the sky the other day. And right after that, I saw an extraterrestrial being a few days ago. See? See? It's beginning to happen. Contact has begun. See, you don't need to pay $700 to go to a UFO conference to sit in the audience and watch these mostly men up on the stage talk about contact and history, and most of them have never had contact themselves, but yet talk about it. So you don't need that. You don't need that middleman. You don't have to pay big money for getting some truth and in a subject that's quite interesting to many. I surely wouldn't want to be paid for this. I'm not asking for money or donations or buy my healing remedies or... Yeah, I understand some people have to pay the bills, right? But some of these people are charging way too much. Why do we have to do parasite cleanses a few times a year for sure, and borax detox baths? Oh yes, that's why we have to do parasite cleanses. Absolutely. I do a parasite cleanse all the time, and I rotate the type of cleanses that I do. Right now, I'm doing a combination of clove and cayenne pepper and turpentine. I do also borax internally and externally in the bath at times. So every 2 to 3 months I shift and do a different type of parasite cleanse. Every day I do a piece of nicotine gum, and I use the brand Rugby because they don't have sucralose in their ingredient list. You don't want sucralose. So I do a piece of, 1 piece of nicotine gum a day. Helps detox my pathways and my receptor sites. Helps get rid of, you know what. I can't say it because they'll take me down. So you'll know when the white hats have taken over, when the censorship BS is gone, right? Censorship, to me, is murder. A couple years ago, what happened? So I'm a nurse. I've seen it. I've experienced it. But I didn't experience what was being presented to the public. And every time I tried to share something of the truth, I was put in Facebook jail for about 30 days at a time. That could have saved, my information could have saved lives. So to me, censorship is on the same level as murder. So yes, I do a parasite cleanse all the time, or a different type. The QHHT session I had, I was on the ranch, living at Esetti Ranch, and Dolores Cannon had just passed away. And so this was a gentleman from Florida, and he was training a guy that was traveling with him on how to do the sessions. So I laid in one of the rooms, and the lead guy walked me through it. I got to see some past lives. And what was really unique with this guy is he could actually, so as I was laying in bed, I was still coherent, conscious, but just in a little bit of a different state of relaxed. And when he was walking me through it, he could actually see what I was seeing in my head. For example, a past life of mine, I was a witch. Now, everybody's going to say, oh, God, she was a witch. Well, yeah, I was a good witch. I looked down and I saw my pointy toe shoe boots that were purple, right? And even as a teenager, I found shoes that looked just like that, and I loved them. So a lot of your likes and interests and hobbies come from you from life into life. You know, I share on my Facebook page things that help with healing, modalities, herbs, right? And so this guy, when he was doing the session, he could see what I was seeing. He said, what are you wearing? I says, I'm wearing my pointy toe shoes. He says, are you a good witch or a bad witch? I said, oh, I'm a good one. And then he took me back even further. And like I say, he connected me with my star family. I says, I wanted to meet my star family. And again, they were wearing that outfit, just like Lost in Space. And I got to hug them. And because I got a picture of Bigfoot, I've wanted to hug one. So while I was at the ranch for a few weeks, so this is how you manifest. So I always wanted to get a picture of Bigfoot, and I did. So then for about a week or two afterwards, I wrote on my water bottle, hug Bigfoot. And every day I'd say, oh God, I wish I could hug Bigfoot. He's so big and hairy and strong. And my gosh, what a beautiful being. I want to hug Bigfoot. And during my QHHT session, Bigfoot came in and I hugged him. So yeah, so when you want to manifest something, you have to smile and think about it and put it out to the universe. This is what you want. And don't doubt, and don't be in fear, and don't block it, and don't be impatient. Be persistent. And eventually you will get your blessing. So let's see. You have never done one before. Yep. Slow drip. Yep. Tom wants to know what other physical detox things should we be doing besides parasite detoxing to get our body, mind, and soul into the next. Oops. Seymour. Next. Shape for living here. Okay, so what I'll just say what I do. I take fermented skate liver oil capsules. You can get those on Amazon. They used to be like $32. Now they're close to $50 for a bottle, but it's worth it to me. I take one of those, 2 of those a day. Skate liver oil capsules. It helps detox your pineal gland. And I found that little secret out years ago by, there was an interview that David Wilcock did with a doctor who used to work for the deep state in the military. And he gave a hint on one video. And I had to find that video, I had to find that hint and research that hint. So to detox your pineal gland, which will also help you sleep better, is fermented skate liver oil capsules. What else do? I do the nicotine gum. I do methylene blue. I didn't realize my tongue was still blue. So I do methylene blue every day. I take about 20 to 25 drops a day of methylene blue. It does turn stuff blue, but it eventually goes away. I didn't realize it was still there. You guys are probably wondering, oh my gosh, she's a demon. She's got a blue tongue. But I do that every day. Also, every day I do Lugol's iodine. I get a bottle of Lugol's iodine. I put about 4 or 5, 6 drops on my wrist, rub it in. That helps with detox also, and it helps with overall health. Your body needs iodine, and not that garbage they put in table salt. I do not eat table salt. I buy Baja Gold or real Redmond sea salt. Never eat table salt, regular table salt. It's garbage, absolute garbage. Ugh. And I drink distilled or reverse osmosis water. It's pure water, pure H2O. And every time I get someone wanting to argue, but you shouldn't drink distilled. You need your minerals and your electrolytes. Well, you don't get that from water. Maybe 100 years ago you did. Not from this garbage tap water we have. It's poison. It's got hundreds of chemicals in it, including fluoride and chlorine and hundreds of pharmaceuticals, birth control pills, hormones, psych meds. There's no electrolytes in there. So drink clean water and get your electrolytes and your minerals from quality salt and quality vitamins. Don't buy vitamins at Walmart. I did a podcast a couple years ago and I showed you the bottle from Walmart. That crap is made in China. Garbage ingredients. In fact, toxic. That stuff will kill you. And here you're thinking for $4.97 you bought a bottle of vitamin C and you think that that's going to help you. It's garbage. You have to buy quality vitamins. That's it. I'm sorry. I wish there was a cheaper way, but there is not. What else? You should see the stuff I've got here. I've got thousands of dollars worth of herbs, vitamins, remedies. And yes, I take a certain paste once a month that I got at Big R. I can't say the name of it or what it's for. But tonight when I get off my high horse, I'm going to have a ribeye. So I take paste once a month as a detox. I take cayenne pepper capsules every day because I have also a history of clots. Make sure your vitamin D levels are well above 50. I take Dr. Berg's vitamin D with K, especially in the winter. What else? If I think of something else to detox, I take a bunch of stuff every day. It's just my routine. It's what I do. It's all I do all day is detox and supplement and try to eat good. I'm 57. I feel great. I have no pain. And yeah. Let's see if there's some other questions before I go. Will God clear the memory of this when this is done so you don't have to repeat? Okay, so how do I answer that? Right now, in this existence, in this reality, you're behind the veil, so you do forget. But the veil is lifting so that you can start to kind of remember things a bit more. But once this is over, yes, we will begin to retrieve our memories so that we don't have to repeat this again. This was kind of a grand experiment, I guess, in a way. But this is what we agreed to as a soul. This was quite a challenge to come here, knowing that these are the rules of the game. You will have a physical body. You will feel pain. You will have emotions to help direct you. You will have spirit guides to assist you, but you must call upon them. They cannot violate free will. Free will in this reality is king. Free will. You all have your own choices to make. You will forget who you are and where you came from. And let's see what you do with it. This was a great experiment, don't you think? Anybody that came here, that comes here, deserves a badge of courage, right? Especially nowadays. It takes a lot of courage just to leave the house, right? Especially if you live in Chicago or LA, right? You're earning courage here. Here, you're burning off your karma quickly too, right? Let's see, what else is there? Yes, and they actually like chocolate. Well, that's one thing that the Earth has that other extraterrestrials like: coffee, chocolate, right? How did I know to take the photo? That's very cool, Dee says. I'm assuming you're talking about Bigfoot. Well, I was walking back to my campsite in the dark, and I had been putting out there, I'd like to see Bigfoot. Get a picture. And then he told me, take a picture to your left. So I pulled out my camera, and I'm like, okay, there's like nothing here. You can't even see your hand. It's so dark. I took a picture and, okay, went back to my campsite, and I went through all my pictures for the day like I usually did. I said, what is this? And I went, oh my gosh, it's Bigfoot. Look at his face. Oh my gosh, his face is so strong and ancient. He was right there. Yeah, he told me, take a picture to your left, telepathically. So a lot of these extraterrestrials, they communicate telepathically. So that's a great point, Dee. Know that not all of your thoughts are yours. In fact, probably very few of them are. There's a lot of interference and distraction, and the deep state and the cabal knows this. They have technology called voice-to-skull technology, where they can implant thoughts into your head. They used that in the Iraqi war. So you have to use discernment on your thoughts. You have to more feel it. Where are you emotionally? What does your heart say? What does your gut say? That gut feeling, right? It's talking to you, because this thing will lie to you. This is just a processing computer chip. You got to follow your heart and your gut. So the government has, for decades, technology that can implant thoughts into your head. Voice-to-skull technology. It's all out there now. You can Google it. But this is how extraterrestrials, most of them, communicate telepathically. Most of my interactions have been telepathic. There have been some where I have met face-to-face in the physical, where we have talked. But most of the time it's telepathically. I have talked to dead people telepathically. A close family member that passed away a year and a half ago. Any of you remember Lavoy Finicum? He was shot in the head by the FBI over the land grab in the Nevada and Arizona areas. It was about, oh gosh, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 years ago. Does anybody remember Lavoy Finicum? He was shot in the head by the FBI over the land grab. Well, I went to his funeral. There were thousands of people there. And as I walked up to the casket, it was an open casket. He had some type of bonnet on his head because they blew the top of his head off. I was so distraught over this wonderful man, this patriot, this loving husband with a beautiful family that were godly people. And they lost their husband, their father, from a corrupt deep state. So as I stood there, I put my head down in front of the casket, and I tried to say a prayer for his soul. And I was so upset I couldn't even think of one. And he stood right next to me in his spirit and put his arm around me, and he said, it's okay. It's okay. I'm good. I'm here, and it's okay. And I'm like, here, you're consoling me. I thought that was mind-blowing. But so telepathically, you have to keep open to it. Was that your thought? Was that your idea? Like tonight, you know, I prepared for tonight's video. I fasted, I prayed, I connected. I got messages, hey guys, am I doing the right thing? And I came up with my outline to read. I said, guys, is this good? Do you approve of this? And they laugh at me saying, well, of course, we trust you. Yeah, perfect, say it. And I'm like, okay. Censorship. Laura says, such evil, right? When it's true and on target, they censor and block you. Yep. Oh, believe me, there's a special place on the other side for those people that have censored out of greed or fear or money, advertising. Censorship killed people and caused many to be in a state of suffering, disability. The truth was censored. Very funny. What's the methylene blue for? Well, I have a whole book on it. It's for a lot of things. Parasites, cancer, detox. Just Google it. If you can't find it, go to DuckDuckGo and Google it there. But that's another great point to bring up. Google and the internet has been scrubbed of a lot of truth in history. And so there's a lot of stuff you cannot find now that you could 10 years ago. So a lot of the stuff that I know is gone. A lot of people say, well, do you have a paper on that? No, I don't. Do you have a reference? No, I don't. It's all stored in my knowledge. I know a lot. Because for at least 15, 20 years, I have been researching everything. 2 to 8 hours every day. I know, that sounds crazy, doesn't it? That's why nobody can stand me, because I'm neurotic. I am focused on my mission beyond what anybody could ever understand or comprehend. Thank you, Jesus, for my husband. I warned him. I warned him when I met him. But at the same time, I treated him just like Dolores gave the example, is you can't feed a baby a 3-course meal. I knew who my husband was the second I saw him. Yes, but I couldn't tell him everything because he would have thought I was absolute BS crazy. So I had to drip feed him quickly over 4 years. And I had to do it quickly. And I had to show him. How did I get to that? Why did I say that? Because of this and that in my past. So I still kind of have to defend myself, but I think at this point, he's all in. He knows I'm crazy. No, I'm not. So research the methylene blue. There's a book on Amazon for like $8 or $10, $12. Talks all about methylene blue. Check it out. We do Celtic salt. What's your input there? You gotta get a quality brand. There's a lot of brands that come from China or somewhere else. You've got to know the brand. You have to buy a quality Celtic salt. Celtic salt is great, but make sure it's a quality brand of Celtic salt. Otherwise, it could be loaded full of microplastics and metals. I'm just learning that so many young kids can't sleep. Yep, because their nervous system is all jacked up from you-know-whats, right? So our children are a disaster. Our children are a disaster with the foods, the chemicals, the toxic tap water, the microplastics, everything's messing with their hormones, sugar, these things, and Wi-Fi. Our kids are a disaster. Eventually, there will be technology to clean all this up. But until then, do the best you can and detox them, have them eat whole foods, limit their sugar and processed foods, no ultra-processed foods, no McDonald's, no garbage, no soda. Oh my gosh, no soda. No sodas. None of these. Give them iodine if they're struggling developmentally. Put it on their wrist, behind the knee. Even Dr. Berg mentioned that in a video that I listened to last night. Even when I'm sleeping, I listen to videos and take it all in. I listen to everybody and everything. I know that does sound crazy, doesn't it? But it's the truth. I've been like this for 15 years. Researching, digging for the truth, putting everything in a category so that I can reference it later. Watching documentaries, reading books, going to places, observing, watching. Until a year or two ago, anybody that knew me would always reference me as, oh, Cassandra, yeah, she was a quiet, nice girl. That's because I'm watching and observing, analyzing. And it wasn't until recently I started doing these videos. And like I said earlier, I don't feel comfortable doing these. I'm not a techie. I don't know how to do them. Right now, I'm talking to my phone that's got a bunch of people watching and that are going to watch, yeah, even when it's not live. So I'm having to bust out of my shell, and I feel like the entities and the ETs are pushing me. Come on, get out there. It's time, get out there. And I'm like, I don't really want to do it. Well, practice. Get out there and do it. Put your big girl pants on now, which they have said that, quote, unquote. Put your big girl pants on and get out there. So, yeah, so the fermented skate liver oil capsules would be great for kids. Let's see if there's any. Virginia. My deceased husband came and sat down in front of me in spirit a month ago. He told me he misses me. I couldn't believe that could ever happen. Ah, yes. My tongue's still blue. But yes, they miss us like we miss them. It's awful. Yes. You're going to start seeing and experiencing more and more of this. And it's going to be coming in leaps and bounds from this day forward. The veil is thinning. We are ascending, and we are getting closer to that frequency of our loved ones. So yes, you're going to be seeing. I've heard that so many times. So many times. I worked with a guy. He told me one time his mother, he was driving on the highway, and his deceased mother showed up next to him in the car and gave him a message. Yeah. So yes, they miss us, and they wait for an opportunity to connect with you when your brain and your heart is in the right frequency. For example, one time years ago, it was about 2014, I was working at the maximum security prison in Ely, Nevada. I was the death row nurse. Yeah, I know. I did a lot of spiritual work there. But anyway, one night in the middle of the night, it was about 2 or 3 in the morning, I was sitting at my desk, and it was quiet, and I just sat there. I wasn't sleeping. I was sitting at the desk with my eyes closed, and boom, I popped out of body. My grandmother came out a door. My grandmother's deceased. She came out of a door, down some stairs, and she was wearing a beautiful blue outfit, and she came up to me and took my hands, and she apologized. And I said, Granny, it's okay. I made bad choices too, you know. It's not all on you. But our family, our loved ones, wait for an opportunity to connect. Because when you do go back home, you have an expanded state of consciousness. You have your life review, and sometimes you have some regrets and some things that you wish you could go back and say, I'm sorry. So know that it goes both ways. We miss them, we're crying, we're sobbing, they miss us. But it's just a temporary separation, and we will all be together again. Hi, Peter. All right. It looks like I've covered all the questions. I don't know how long I've been rambling. It's probably been a while. Can you hear me? Hey, Peter. Can you hear me? I was busy touching everything, and I'm not sure if you can hear me. Anybody else have any questions? One of these days, I'm going to do a reveal on who the commander of the New Jerusalem is. Okay, great. You guys can still hear me. Again, for his privacy and safety at this moment, I'm just going to keep it to myself for now. But what an honor to be the commander of the New Jerusalem. Huge, probably 2,000 miles wide starship. And be responsible for those high-level beings on that ship. And be responsible for who boards. And to maintain safety of all the souls on board and get them from one place to another. Wow. I knew that guy was something special, but I didn't think he was that special. I'm just kidding, but it was surprising. I mean, as soon as on the 25th that night, as soon as Jesus and the ship came in to take that toxic parasitic payload, I looked over to the right and I saw this guy coming down the ramp. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh my gosh. That's the commander. Ooh, right? Wow. Powerful stuff, guys. Okay. Does anybody have any other questions? I'm scrolling back, looking at the comments. I think I have covered all the questions. I will wait another few seconds to see if anybody else joins. So I will post this on my channel. And many people will see it after the fact. But please feel free to make a comment or question. And I'll do my best to answer the questions on my YouTube channel, my Rumble channel, and my BitChute channel. And the name of my channel is Purple Lion Project. So I'm going to scroll one more time to see if anybody has any comments, suggestions, or questions. Peter says, did I miss the Christmas reveal? Yep, you're going to have to watch it after the fact. It was called Operation Christmas 2024. And it was mission accomplished thanks to everyone from a previous video turning on their 5G tower, fifth dimensional 5G God tower, to bring in and manifest the Christ energy to help clean out some very toxic, demonic substances that were going to be released to humanity. I tell you what, these demons, these creatures, they had, I think people are starting to wake up on the very destructive, demonic things they've been doing to us for a very long time. Because they are not godly. They hate anything godly. They kill your babies. They eat your babies. They poison your babies. They lie. They lie. And they lie. And they censor. And they lie. Why? Well, a couple things. Most of them require our fear energy to survive. It's called loosh. It's their crack. It's their heroin. They get off on it. That's why there's lots of these demonic entities in the astral realm over wars, bombings, and people suffering. Oh, they love it. They hang out in hospitals, in surgical suites. I know, I've worked in them. I've cleared them. They eat and they jump in. As soon as your energy is cut and you're unconscious, they dive right in the surgical suites. They're parasites. They need humans to live. They need your adrenochrome. You're crack to them. They feed off your fear, your agony. They feed off your addictions. Believe me, at the liquor store, there's lots of beings there waiting to hop right on somebody coming in to get a fifth of something so that they can go home with them. And once you start drinking, you lower your energy, and it lowers it, and it allows you to resonate with the frequency of creatures and demons, and especially meth and crack. I can always pick out the meth heads. They never get rid of their demons. It resonates with the frequency of demons. So a lot of people bring this in themselves. And get these spiritual parasites. You have to get them out. How do you do that? You start cleaning up your life. That's what you do. You raise your vibration. And I did a complete post on Facebook on how to raise your vibration and connect to source with about 20 or 30 different ideas on how to do that. So just go to my Facebook page, Cassandra S. Willock, and there's a 3 button where you can push and do a search. And you could just say frequency, see what comes up, or detox. But now we have progressed to the point where they don't want us anymore. There's technology. They don't need all of us slaves anymore. We're useless eaters. They want to get rid of most of us. And they want to do it in a way where they can get the most loosh too, right? So you have to be one step ahead of them. I never drink alcohol ever. I like to keep my vibration strong and as intact as I can, especially with the work I do. That was kind of another rant there. So yeah, so they had all kinds of stuff planned for us. You know? And I understand the people that we call the sheeple, or those that are still asleep. You know, it is a hard concept for a good heart to accept that there are others or groups of others that want to cause harm and death. I understand that. It's hard to understand. How could somebody be like that? Why would you want to kill my baby? Why would you want to force something on me that I don't want? Well, it's got to be good, right? Everybody said it was good. Are people that evil? I couldn't believe people would be that evil. No, people aren't that evil. People are innately good. But these are the people that we still need to work on gently. Going back to Dolores Cannon's statement, we can't give them a baby a 3-course meal. Yeah, they're a little slow in picking it up, but you still have to just be kind and drip feed them. Because if they haven't woken up with everything that's been going on in the last 3 years, and I don't know. God bless them. So that's my dog coughing and hacking. She had a massive seizure this morning. She's not doing very well. All right, Sophie. She's been my best friend for 12 years. And she's been having these seizures, really bad ones. I've tried all kinds of natural stuff, and she has about one every week, and they're really bad. She usually hits the floor, and it's bad. Anyway, okay. Moving on. Let's see if there's any more questions. Nope. All right. Thank you. Hi, sweetie. You okay? Come here. Come here, you. Come here, you. Come here. Here, say hi to everybody. This is Sophie. This is my best friend. And I'm her best friend. Am I your best friend? Of course I am. I love you too. So, if everybody could maybe say a little prayer for Sophie, for her seizures. She's probably had 100 or more in the past few years. She's getting a little confused, forgetful. Yeah. People, see, maybe my friends will pray for you too, huh? Yeah? Because I know I'm your best friend, aren't I? Yes, and you're my best friend. So, pray for Sophie. Because she's been my best friend and only friend at times. Because I'm crazy and neurotic and nobody can stand me. Just kidding. But anyway, I'm here for people. I'm here for humanity. I do have a healing bed that the entities approved me for. I have been a little leery to say this out loud, but I have to because it's just sitting here. So I have an energy healing bed. It has 6-7 Vogel crystals, and there are entities of light assigned to it. And so I can do long distance healings for people. I do not charge. Jesus came in one night when I was in the bed. He had me get out of the bed, get a piece of paper from my printer, and sign a contract that I am to never charge for offering that healing modality. And I will not charge. But it is just me. So if I get like 1,000 requests, it's like I have to be the surrogate. So I have to lay in the bed and at a minimum 20 minutes. So if somebody wants a long distance healing, for example, last week I was at home. I'm not working right now. I was fired over the flu thingy. So I lost my job. I've had no income for the last month. I am a little worried about finances, but God always takes care of me. He always has in the past, so why would he not now? So I'm not going to worry about it too much. But last week, I was home alone, just kind of down, bored. See, if I'm not going 100 miles an hour, I get depressed. 'Cause I know, it's crazy. But anyway, if someone, so for example, last week, there was a lady contacted me on Facebook, and she was telling me about her 34-year-old son who's very, very, very sick. So I said, hey, while you're here, let me do a crystal bed healing session for him. And she said, okay. So I did. And as I'm laying there connecting with Jesus, well, first, let me back up. First, before I laid in the bed, I told her, since you're online with me live now, let's close our eyes and connect with Jesus. Because what did Jesus promise? When 2 or more pray in his name, miracles happen, right? So I said, let's call in Jesus and say, hey, you know, her son, we're asking for help for him. He's very, very sick. We ask this in your name, a healing, a blessing, in Jesus' name, please. And then I laid down in the bed for 20 minutes. I got back up, and then she messaged me and said, her very sick son said, the light is trying to work on him. Lay with me, Mom. Now, how powerful is that? From what I understand, the kid, 34-year-old, very sick, hadn't been out of bed in 6 months, and he's also got some mental issues, right? very sick and he's 34 for 6 months. And the mother said that was so wonderful that he actually told her, Mom, come lay with me. The light is working on me. So if anybody needs a long distance healing, you have to email me because there's some certain information that I need and a current photo of only the person, a recent picture of only the person, because you can't have someone else's hand on your shoulder because it's going to pick up the energy of that person's hand and mess up your healing. And preferably in very white clothing or light clothing, or just a t-shirt and boxers, because I'm the only one that sees it. And I need a specific information. And then I'm the surrogate, because I doubt if anybody lives near me. I'm in kind of the middle of nowhere. And I can be the surrogate for the healing session. It takes about 20 minutes. I lay down, the patient lays down, focus on your healing, and have faith and trust. So yeah, if anybody's interested, I just made an email for that. Make a comment and ask for the email, and I'll send you the information. It might be heavensgatehealing@yahoo.com, but let me make sure that that's it. So just comment below that you're interested in a long distance healing, and I will send you the info, and we'll make a date. Deal? All right. Let's see if there's any other questions. I don't think so. All right. Well, thanks, guys. I had a good time tonight. I was a little nervous at first. I'm nervous because this is an important message. Operation Christmas, was a big deal. And I want to make sure I'm always presenting information that is truthful, honest, spot on, detailed, as much as I can get. I just gave you the kind of a rough idea, a brief overview of what Operation Christmas was. There's a bit more to it. But I wanted to let you know that thanks to your help in turning on your 5G tower on Christmas, bringing in the Christ energy is very powerful. We have to manifest the world we want, right? And we are getting more help than anybody could ever imagine from spirit, from the beings of light, from extraterrestrials, our star family. They have helped. We would have been gone a long time ago. So they have been helping to the extent that they could without violating galactic laws of interference, free will. So know that we have had lots of help, and know they're not going to watch us be destroyed again. It's time to move forward. We should have been living like the Jetsons by now, but because of shifting timelines and greedy dark people, we're not there yet, but we will be soon. So, with that, I thank you all very much. Thank you for allowing me to serve. And I will continue my journey and mission and keep you all posted and updates. I'm hoping I get more information on Monday. Yes. But to be honest with you, my heart wants to get you that information out to you by Tuesday, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be up to it. But I guarantee you, within 2 to 3 days, after deep dives and deep spiritual work, I will present the information to you in a very professional, honest, and truthful manner as I am representing the light. I'm a little disappointed in some of the other people that are in the disclosure realm, people in podcasts that you're aware of. I'm not going to sit here and out them by name yet, but I'm not impressed. But it's not my job to convince people of anything or tell people not to follow people. That's your job. You have to discern who you follow and take in their information and support. I can't do that for you. I would be violating your own free will. But what I will say is that I follow and support very few. Very few. Did I say very few? Yeah. Yeah, I'm disappointed. A lot of them are men. There's a couple women, but most of them are men leading the way of disclosure. And they just don't have the moral compass that I feel comfortable with. But that's me. You do you. I may be picked up on James Rink's show, Super Soldier. So I'm going to talk to him in the next week, and we're going to get something together. James Rink has been in the disclosure UFO ET podcast realm for 20 years or more. I think 2008, he said, it was his first video. And he's interviewed quite a few people. I've watched many of his interviews. He's very kind. He's balanced. He's professional. He asks good questions. You could see his heart is in the right place. So that's someplace I might wind up on his show. So until next week, again, I thank you for your patience. One more question. How does one deal with toxic people that have low frequencies? Oh, great question. Can I go on for another 5 minutes? Okay, thanks. Okay, so I've worked in a lot of prisons. I've worked at the maximum security Jackson State Penitentiary in Michigan. I worked at the maximum security, the Nevada State Prison, death row. And I finally, last January, resigned from the federal Supermax prison that holds the worst of the worst. So I have worked with toxic, dangerous, low vibrational beings for many years, over 10. My last job, I became a specialist. It was a great experience at that federal Supermax prison. They had the worst of the worst. And some of the staff were not very pleasant to work with either. Most of them were pretty cool, but there was a couple crabby ones, okay? How do you deal with them? Well, you have to first protect yourself. How did I protect myself and my energy? I wore black. Black has a frequency of armor. That's why I said earlier, if I do a long distance healing in my crystal bed, you need to wear white or off-white or a light color, because so that energy can penetrate. So does that make sense? So when I would go to work and deal with toxic people, I wore black to protect my energy. It's a block. It's my first line of defense. I'm wearing black, all black. Black scrubs, black pants, black shoes, black shirt, black t-shirt, black jacket. I protected my energy. I then invoked. I prayed before my shift. I prayed before I went into that prison. I did my affirmations. I did my prayer of protection. And I did a video of it. My prayer of protection, I think it's on YouTube. So go to Purple Line Project and look for my prayer of protection. So I invoke from the universe protection of my energy. I'm also careful of what I eat at work. Sugar will bring your energy right down. That's why they say sugar takes down your immune system. It just takes your whole immune system down. It takes all your energy down. So I always drink lots of water at work to keep the energy flowing. Ate good food. And so when I would deal with these toxic people, I went in with my armor of God on, literally and spiritually. See, this every day when I put this on, it's a reminder that I have the armor of God, and no weapon formed against me will prosper. So come up with your own spiritual system that feels right for you. And then when I would approach these toxic people, I looked like a professional. I wasn't going into work on a Sunday morning because I was at the bar Saturday night. My hair wasn't a mess, makeup smeared, wrinkled uniform. My hair was always pulled back into a very tight ponytail. I've laughed at the entities before. On some of my trips to Brazil, I would have my hair, I'd do a Brazilian blowout. And when they did that, it somehow turned my hair orange. This is my natural color. Okay, I do put a toner on it, but this is my natural color. But a couple times in Brazil, I went and had a Brazilian blowout, an organic one, because they're really cheap. It was like $50. But it turned my hair orange. I was so mad. You know, us women with our hair, women are crazy about their hair. And I told the entities, I said, oh my God, look at my hair's orange again. Oh my gosh, this is awful. I'm depressed. I don't even want to go out in public. My hair's orange. I look like a Oompa Loompa or an orangutan. And they laughed. And they laughed at me. And I stopped. I said, guys, you don't understand. Perception is a lot down here. Your looks matter, unfortunately. Your looks matter. So I told them, I got to fix this. I don't want to have orange hair. I don't have orange hair. It's gray. So my good friend would take me to the Brazilian mall and we'd get some purple hair corrector and put it in there and pull out that orange. Well, I'm not doing another Brazilian blowout, okay? Because I'm not going through that again. But anyway, perception is 9/10 of the struggle. If I sit here and present to you this information wearing my pajamas and my hair looking a mess, lots of background noise and doing it sloppy without any preparation, wouldn't that come off as kind of, I don't know if I believe her. Look at her, she's a mess. Or she's half crocked, like some people recently presenting information live on Facebook. Half crocked. Yes, you would recognize the name, and I'm not impressed. You don't do that. When you're representing the light, Have some dignity to it, for God's sakes. Anyway, moving forward. So again, perception. Give off that aura, that spiritual aura, that spiritual energy, that I have my spiritual gear on. I'm physically prepared. I prayed my affirmations, my prayer of protection. Invoke God to work through you. So when I would face these demons at work, these high-level inmates that have killed a bunch of people, bombers, shot callers of these dangerous gangs, every one of them, I went to their cell. I always had an officer with me, but I entered into their cell area. One door would open. They would have the grill there. I would step in by the grill and do their medication administration, their treatment, their vital signs, whatever. I treated them with respect. They saw a professional walking into their cell area. They needed me. They needed me for a reason. Their meds, their treatment. So they saw a professional walking into their cell who acted like a professional, who stood up straight. I work out. I did at that time every day. I worked out every day at the gym. I weigh 126 pounds. I wear a size 4. And I have pretty good size arms because I work out every day. So they see that perception. They're automatically reading me. And these inmates at the Federal Supermax up the road about 2 miles, they are experts in reading energy and people because that's all they do all day for year after year, decade after decade. They see me step in. My outfit, my uniform is spot on. I look healthy. My appearance is polished. They always said I was polished and professional. And I would look at them in the eyes and connect with them. Because if you don't, there's no respect from people that have bad attitudes and low vibrational beings. They will take advantage of you. So I connected with them, looked at them in the eyes. I see you. How you doing today? Here you go. Do you need anything else? Anything else going on? Say a joke. Say something. Connect with people. When you connect with people, that's how you help them. You look at them in the eye. Be a professional. Have a good moral standing, gain respect, give respect. Don't judge. You don't know what someone else has been through. You just don't know. I have met high-level inmates at the ADX that had horrible situations in their childhood. Horrific. And they need healing. And after being there almost over 4 years, there was one inmate that had, I knew his history. I knew all of them inmates personally, 330 some inmates usually at a time. They were dangerous. So I had to know, I had to be on my game. So there was one inmate that was going to kill himself, and he saw me walking down range. He said, "Is today the day, Miss Dunn?" I was Dunn at the time. I said, "Don't do it. Don't do it. You will regret it on the other side. You need to start forgiving on this side." And he knew exactly what I was saying. And he had some extraordinary spiritual experiences with the people he wanted to kill that did horrid things to him as a child. So, no judgment. You can't judge. You just don't know where someone has been. Respect. Don't judge. Prepare yourself. Be a professional. Be a godly person. Another thing that the inmates saw was that I didn't mess around at work. I didn't get involved with any of the staff. I wasn't there to mess around and play around with officers. I didn't go out drinking with them. I went there and did my job because I knew they're all watching. And the last thing I want to do is fail at my mission for something stupid. So I am always on point. So that's how I deal with toxic, low vibrational people. Now, out in the world, I just avoid them. And I don't go looking for trouble. There are some people in my family that I do not see in person, and I send them love from a distance. I guess that is just the way it is here for right now. I have to protect myself also. What if they disrespected you? Do you forgive them? I sure did. Yep. Because I'm not going to let them tether me with feelings of my anger towards them because they did something wrong to me. You can't live that way. I did a post about 6 months or a year ago. How do you know if you forgave someone? I think that it came down to, if you think about that person or situation and there's no more anger and your blood pressure doesn't go up anymore and you don't start yelling anymore, just forgive them. Move on. Move on. Don't keep it. Don't keep it. What for? That means they got a control over you. No. There's inmates that did some really bad things to me. But let me tell you, I nipped that in the bud. So they knew that their behavior was not acceptable. And then the next day when I had to see them again, I went back to my usual professional self. How are you today? How's it going? Anything going on? Here's your meds. Do you need anything else? How's your wound doing? Good? Okay, cool. Can I see it? Yeah, it looks better than yesterday. Cool beans. All right. Thank you. I said thank you all the time. I said thank you to all those nasty inmates. Thank you. Why did I say thank you? Well, thank you for cooperating. Thank you for not killing me. Thank you for not assaulting me. Thank you for taking your meds. Thank you for my job. Thank you for this opportunity to serve the light. Thank you. I'm just grateful. I have this opportunity to learn how to deal with toxic energies. Thank you. Thank you. See you tomorrow. So that's how I dealt with it. You can't carry anger around with you. You've got to forgive. There's books upon books upon books about the healing of forgiveness. You have to forgive. Because that was a test. Everything is a test. You have to remember that. Everything is a test. Everything is a test. I cannot stress that enough. Everything is a test here. If someone triggers you, think about it. Deep dive later. Wow, why did I go off? Why was I triggered like that? Was it something they really did, or is it something inside of me? Or is it my programming on how I respond to stuff? Should I have done that? Or I don't know what that person's just been through. That road rage guy, he might have just got a divorce and he flipped me off and then I flipped him off and then we were going to kill. Think about it, process it. What caused that triggering event? What happened? Were you part of that whole situation? What was your part in it? I mean, anytime I do something and it blows up, I'm like, wow, I really think about it. I really think about it. How much of that was on me? What could I have done different? Or should I have protected myself and snapped back? You know what I'm saying? So, you've got to forgive. You've got to forgive yourself and others. Forgiveness of self is the most difficult. I will be the first to say, in my first 40 years of life, 35 years of life, I did a lot of stupid stuff. A lot of stupid stuff. Forgiveness of self is one of the most difficult things to do, but you have to learn from your mistakes. Try to do better. There were things I did several times, stupid stuff. I'm like, where were you? Did you learn from the first time? Are you that stupid? Yeah, I was. We all did stuff. We all did stuff we're gonna regret. Nobody's void of that. Sorry, if you're human, if you're breathing, you're making mistakes, okay? Try to do better next time. Try to learn from it. Try to do better, right? All right, I think that's it. Time to go. Hi, Virginia. All right. Yep, holding on to anger and not forgiving can do huge damage to us. It makes us sick, really, truly. Yes, it does. It'll block up, it'll plug up, it'll block up your energy and turn into a clot, a tumor, a cancer, a high blood pressure. Stress will wear you out. It'll wear you out like your brakes going down the mountain. You know, they're burning up, then all of a sudden they're starting to vibrate because the rotors are warped because they're so hot. Whew. I got some people in my family that live on rage and anger. Woo, buddy, the health problems they got are massive. And then they wonder why they hurt and ache and have all these weird issues and autoimmune stuff. Yeah, their body's attacking itself because they got so much energy and pent up stuff. Whew. Oh. So anytime somebody comes to me with a bunch of health issues, I'm sorry to say, the first thing I ask them is, what did you do to yourself? I didn't do it. What did you do to yourself? Let's start there. Oh, you did this? Well, stop. Why did you get 6? Or I'm 400 pounds and I don't feel good. Well, why are you going to McDonald's? Why are you drinking a big thing of soda every day? What are you doing to yourself? Yeah, acidic, acid, right? Inflammation. Or they'll blame it on their genetics. Oh, that's a good way to go. Oh, well, you know, everybody in my family is a diabetic, obese, and has high blood pressure. So what? So does mine. I'm not 400 pounds. I don't have high blood pressure. I wear a size 4. I don't have diabetes. My A1C is very good. In a respectful manner, my sister passed away in 2013 or 14. She was in her late 30s. She was like 600 pounds. She went to the doctor because her back hurt. She was bedbound. Doctor gave her some pain meds and she suffocated that night. very sad life. unresolved childhood traumas, all she wanted was to be loved. Yes, keto and carnivore is the way to go. The rest of the stuff you don't need. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. Thank you. Thank you. I feel good. I feel good. I appreciate you guys. So much to say, so little time. So, just a friendly reminder, if you could pray for my dog, Sophie. Right? Are you hungry? She's always hungry because you're crazy. Too many traumas to the head with the seizures. Okay, so Sophie's hungry. I have to go. So thanks, guys. Leave your comments, questions, suggestions below. Topics that you'd like to talk about next time. Next time, hopefully, it won't be so long, but it was fun. And I'm lonely. so I had a good time. Thanks, guys. I will be uploading this to my Rumble, BitChute, and YouTube channel, Purple Lion Project. And I will try to answer all the comments, questions, and suggestions. Thank you so much. Cassandra Willock signing out. Y'all have a good night. And Merry Christmas from me to you. We couldn't have done it without Christ. He really is a good guy, and he's kind of funny. Those guys have a really good sense of humor. They don't deal with the stuff we have to. They really have a funny sense of humor, and he is a really cool guy. He is a really cool guy. Don't be afraid of him. All right. Good night.